All right, recording here. All right, we are recording. Happy Monday, Inspire Beauty. Yay, so many beautiful faces on today. I'm so excited. I'm going to dive right into sharing the screen and get going because I do have a couple different things I want to chat through today, and I want to make sure we have time for everything. So the meat and potatoes is going to be talking about Q2, quarter two. If you're like, what's quarter two? Well, I've taken it upon myself this year to focus not so much on what we can do in 2019, but rather what can we accomplish each quarter. And so when we started this year, we looked at the year at a whole. And if you weren't with us at the time, that's okay. Like at any point in your life, you can say, these are the next 3 months or 12 weeks that I'm going to chunk out, and this is what I'm going to do with that time, right? And so when we look at 2019 as a whole, we looked at our big goals, big, scary, audacious goals, and we broke it down into like, where should we be each quarter so that we can ultimately achieve that goal, right? I find that a lot of times when we look at how far the end goal is from us, we oftentimes put it off. That's why, like, you'll see teams that like they give their all in the like fourth quarter, or when the game is like almost to an end. That's when teams all of a sudden step up and just start crushing it. You see it happen in Beachbody too. The end of the year, people all of a sudden just start like going for it because they don't want to miss out on the goal that maybe they set for themselves before the clock runs out. I don't want us to be like that. I don't want us to spend Christmas Day like attached to our phone because we just didn't hit our goal yet and it's almost New Year's, right? I want us to be able to have a December where we just feel good about the work. We can look back on the year and be reflective and just honest with ourselves and just proud too. And so we are actually coming to a close of Q1. So we're not really going to look at your Q1 goals. We're not going to talk about like, are you there? Did you make it there? Like that's something I trust and believe that, you are totally responsible for it and in control of. And I trust that that's a conversation you'll have with yourself. But we are going to look forward at some dates that we need to put in our planners for quarter two so that you can game plan for success. And then you guys have been asking me for it for a long time. And I heard you loud and clear. It never lined up. But tonight I'm going to teach you block scheduling. This was something back in January you guys asked for actually, and I'm going to give it to you tonight. So we've got a lot coming. But before we start, let's talk through some headlines. Number one, 100 lives changed in Q1 before Q2 even happens, you guys. I want to make 100 lives impacted for the better because of us. Okay, and we are still sitting at the same place we were last week, so we still have 27 more lives to impact between now, March 18th, and the end of the month, March 31st. We've got just slightly, exactly about a week left, yeah? And I believe we can make this happen, you guys. Really, there are plenty of people on our team. If everybody just helped one more person this month, we would be easy breezy hitting that goal. So let's really start rallying around that. We're going to talk about energy here in a second. Before that, though, Ultimate Portion Fix is officially launched for everyone to purchase. So you do not have to be a coach to purchase Ultimate Portion Fix at this point. And so making sure that we are really leveraging the launch of that, but also you guys last week on Thursday or Friday or sometime last week, I sent out an email to all my past challengers, past and current coaches, current challengers too, to see who were 21 Day Fix grads, who was doing 21 Day Fix, and who wanted to be a part of this. Because beyond just Ultimate Portion Fix, yes, we get 30 video training series, 6 different modules guiding us through like how to use these stinking color-coded containers, right? And to make them actually work for our lifestyle and beyond just like the 30 days, right? We have an awesome toolkit with those videos, a workbook and a logbook that go with that. But beyond that, you have access to 42 brand new workouts that have never been done before, that will not be in Beachbody On Demand for the regular clientele, right? Those are unique to this. And so leveraging that, I made a video, I went live today to talk about the value of that. You guys, if I went to a gym and this is being like very modest because here a group fitness class in this area costs about $30 for one class. If I don't have a membership and I just want to drop in for a class, $30, easy. And people will pay that because in the moment, $30 doesn't seem like a whole lot and I got a great class, right? But like break it down, you guys, $30 times 42 classes. If I was like, you know what, I'm going to do this for 6 weeks straight. I'm going to go to class every day. That's $630. And that's no nutrition. That's no video training series. That's no workbook, guidebook. That's no challenge group. That's no coach supporting them like that. There's no nutrition. There's no product like Shakeology, right? That's literally just taking a hour group fitness class for 42 days. So when people are giving you that like price objection, push back, you guys. There is such a value in what they are getting. For this. And if you break it down, the $200, let's say they get the Shakeology Challenge Pack and they tag on BOD, so they get $200, right? And they just want to be in the 42 days, that's about $4.72 a day. For their meal, for their video trainings, for all of the personal training, 21-Day Fix, 21-Day Fix Extreme workouts, plus your coaching support, right? And Shakeology. I don't know if I said that. But like all that stuff combined, $4.72 a day. Where can they get that? Nowhere. So I'm going to get off my pedestal, but Ultimate Portion Fix, you guys, keep at it. If they do not purchase, I'm doing the cutoff not on the 31st. I keep saying the 30th, you guys, because I don't really touch my phone on Sundays in terms of like answering messages and things like that. So if they're not like, if they don't have their link in their hand by the 30th and pull the trigger, they're not going to be in the group because you have to purchase by the end of March in order to have access to the 21-Day Fix workouts. So if they purchase on April 1st, they will not be a part of this. Like, keep that in mind. So there is like really good momentum coming up on the end of the month where you're like, dude, if you don't purchase by today, I'm sorry, but you're not going to get the workouts, right? If that is something that you're leveraging, which is something I'm most definitely leveraging. I know I keep talking about it, but Diamond Retreat is coming fall 2019. A couple more things I wanted to add to this, you guys. When I get back from the cruise, I will be leaving. Just keep this in the back of your mind. If you don't hear from me, if you don't get responses from me right away, I am going to be gone. I depart Friday morning and I don't return until the following Friday. So for that week period, I'm going to be, I'll have cell and I'll have service when I can, but just know that like I might not always have it readily available. So if there are emergencies, there are plenty of people you can reach out to on the team beyond just me who are knowledgeable. But that being said, when I get back from the cruise, I'm going to be launching our 8-week Diamond push to this June 6th cutoff. So if you're not at Diamond yet, or this retreat is on your radar, or the being Diamond recognition by Summit is on your radar, it's on your vision board, maybe you read about the tracks that they're offering you guys. There's 3
jump in last month and just bam, 8 people out. I'm trying to do that.
Did I make it back? Did I make it back?
There she is. Yes.
Perfect. I just cut off, you guys. Did you hear everything until I cut off, or did I freeze?
No, you were going to be gone Friday to Friday, and I think that was really the last of it.
Okay. Sorry about that. I'm hoping that my hotspot works. Whew, that hasn't happened in a hot minute. Okay. Sorry about that. So I'm going to be hosting an 8-week push. This is going to be open for, you'll apply just like the Diamond internship, because I just want to hear your goals. I want to hear your heartbeat. I want to hear where you're at. And I want you to put that pen to paper as well. I think that's an important step. But this is going to be open to more than just one lucky individual for that. And so just keep your eyes peeled for that. When I get back from the cruise, I'm going to be launching an 8-week Diamond push to get us to that June 6th cutoff. So that's super exciting as well. I was also sharing that the tracks, there are 3 tracks at Coach Summit this year. Track number 1 is for Coach Emerald and Ruby rank. The second track is Diamond and 1-star. And the third track is for 2-star and above. And you will automatically be placed on that track as of wherever you are lifetime rank by June 6th. So that date is important for 3 reasons. Diamond Retreat, just recognition in general, as well as Coach Summit tracks. Okay, so the other thing coming along with that, you guys, and you might have noticed with Rising Stars Zoom for Tuesday, I put Emerald and above. I'm not kicking anybody out who's currently, if you're currently on Rising Stars and you're a business builder and you're somebody who's, trying to figure out all the ins and outs of this business, like, I love it, you guys. When we do get to the June 6th cutoff, at that point, if you're not Emerald or above, you will be taken out of our Business Builders page, and the entry fee to get in that group will be being an Emerald coach. And I think that we have a strong, a lot of strong leaders on our team right now, and I think that that's not too far of a stretch to say, hey, you want to be a part of the Biz Builders page, you want to take your things to the next level, you want to be a part of our Tuesday calls, become an Emerald coach, right? And making that the baseline in our goals. So I think that that's going to be really exciting. I don't want to kick anybody out of a page. Like, that's never my heartbeat for that, which is why I'm giving us ample time to get to Emerald. So if you are part of Rising Stars page and you are not currently sitting at Emerald, you have until June 6th. Until then, you can participate in anything and everything we offer there. Absolutely, please. It'll help you go Emerald, absolutely. But if at that point you're no longer Emerald, we will be doing a revamp midway through the year of that page. So those are the announcements, you guys. Before I dive in, this is on my heart. This is something I've been wrestling with, and it's just something I wanted to give us a little gut check, because it's a gut check I've been giving myself lately about my own personal energy. And I read a book called The Energy Bus a while back. It's not super fresh in my mind, but it came back into my mind, and I was like, I need to revisit this. And so I made a little, like side by side of what I believe energy increasers look like on our team, and what energy vampires look like on our team. And I'm not sitting here today to point a finger and say, you're an energy vampire or you're an energy increaser. I think we can all find bullets in either category that we can be like, that's totally me. I can own that in a positive way, and I can own that in maybe a not so positive way. And I think when we see where our energy is being drained versus where our energy is being boosted, we can take ownership of that in a much better way, especially when it comes to like personal development or like targeting where we need to grow in our own personal journey. But energy increasers, like this all can be like no duh, right, when we read it. But I think I want you to like take it to heart, like, is this an area I'm doing this in? Is this an area I've allowed people to do this in maybe in your own downline or the customers you're working with, or maybe you're in your challenge group. We've talked a lot about boundaries. So this also might be helpful for you in looking at like, I've been allowing people to steal my energy in this area. So just take a little inventory. So energy increasers, you guys, they take responsibility and ownership of their journey, right? We can all spot them. The people who are lifting us all up because they're just flying high on their own journey, right? An energy vampire, on the other hand, is constantly asking questions without doing research or training. It's like the hand holding, right? And after a while, you're like, man, it's just tiring. Like that answer is literally right there in front of your face. And as much energy as you took to ask me, or anyone else really, you could have taken that same energy and found the answer out for yourself, and then totally like trained all of us on what you did research on, right? So energy right there, two very similar things, but one can suck our energy away and one can boost our energy, you guys. Moving themselves towards their vision. And this is what I love about today's training is on Q2. It's on looking at block scheduling, and we're moving ourselves towards our vision and desires daily with action. But a vampire, on the other hand, is what I like to call a stick shift coach. If you've ever driven a stick shift, and I cannot drive a stick shift to save my life. I've tried many times and stalled out, and it's like my biggest fear that I'd stall out somewhere like on the expressway, like where it's not a good place. But a stick shift is like back and forth, right? And you feel that pull. And I like to say that sometimes we can have that in our business. Stick shift coaching. I totally was a stick shift coach where I'd be like, I'm getting ready for a challenge group. So I'm like all in inviting. And then like, okay, I got my challenge group going and like, I'm not really in. I'm like, I'm coasting, right? And we take those times where like we're in and then we're out. And then we're like in and then we're out. And stick shift coaching, guys, is just tiring. It's not just tiring it's first and foremost tiring to you, but it also is tiring to the people around you who are watching that happen over and over and over again. And even if your pace it doesn't have to be like all or nothing pace, but even if your pace was like just a little bit every day, that would give you so much more momentum and energy than the energy you're putting into just go full blast and then come back. Totally relating to our fitness journey as well, I'm sure. Energy increasers are focused on their goals and the action, like I just said. And an energy vampire, they might say they have a goal, but the goal, it doesn't actually have action behind it. So it's really just a dream or a wish or a hope or a desire. And it's exhausting because like goals have action behind them, right? That's the difference. An energy increaser is the ones contributing. We know them. We love them, right? In our challenge groups, in our team page, in message threads, they're the ones who are constantly in there attaboying people, right? And then the energy vampire, on the other hand, is not contributing and just relying too much on others to maybe do the work for them. You can run with 1,000, but you can only drag one, right? An energy increaser craves community and serving others. If I asked you like part of your goals right now, if on your list of like why you're here and your goals, if you didn't at some point list that you just want to help others, then your goals are self-serving. And that can be sucking of energy can suck energy away from the people you're working with because they can feel that. When people can see that self-centeredness, right? And these are gut checks I have to do for myself all the time. It's like, are my goals too self-centered? Do I need to start serving others and bringing community into what I am working on, right? Refusing to waste energy. Ooh, this is my favorite one, you guys, and I think we can all relate. An energy increaser refuses to waste energy on those who don't see their vision or the naysayers. On the other hand, an energy vampire wastes a lot of energy on things that don't, and I put in quotes, matter, because I know it can feel like it matters. Like when that person, puts that negative comment on your post, it feels like it matters in the moment, but at the end of the time, like your energy is being sucked away by that person. And now because your mood is down, you're sucking the energy away from everyone around you. It's just not good. Right? And so allowing like yourself to bounce back maybe a little bit faster when things that, when I ask myself, like, will this matter a week from now? Will this matter a month from now? Would this matter a year from now? And I even had a conversation with Charlie about that the other day. There was something he said, and I was like, yeah, it's going to matter in the moment. It'll really suck, I'm sure. But a year later, it's not even going to matter. So like we move on, right? We let it hit us for maybe a second and then we move on. But that not only will suck, like I said, your energy because you're wasting your energy on those things, but then it just does it to everybody else around you. And the people who matter, who need your energy, who love you and who want you to post those things, they're not getting the best of you. Energy increasers are enthusiastic, energetic, solution-driven. On the other hand, a vampire is going to be negative, pessimistic, excuse-driven. We've all witnessed it, and I think it's easier to see it in other people, harder to see in ourselves. And so that's definitely a self-reflection I've been doing. Energy increasers are coachable, very self-motivated and driven. Like the kinds of coaches where I'm like, I know they've posted, I know they're on their stories. Like I don't even watch them because I know you're doing it and I don't have to like quote unquote check up on you, right? On the other hand, an energy vampire is like only motivated by being dragged along or, constantly needing the approval or like, hey, you posted, great job. Like the things that we're supposed to do in our business, like those things just should happen anyway, right? Without any sort of recognition. The recognition should be on the things that are like a stretch for us. Yeah. And so if you feel like, okay, I've gotten in a groove of being posting now, and like that's not like the very first time you do it, it shouldn't be this thing that like you're only motivated to do it when you get the comments or the likes or the whatever, right? So gut checks I've been doing for myself lately and kind of going through, thought we could all use them. Let's dive in, you guys, into some Q2 dates that I want you to physically get out your calendar, your planner. Let's plug these in together right now. Let's take a second and get this on our calendar so that as you look ahead, right, we're coming up on the end of the month. One of the things I love doing when I get to the end of the month is making sure my next month ahead is laid out. Like when my next challenge group starts, where am I going to be with maybe a coach sneak peek or trainings or anything like that I need to be doing. And I like to kind of rough draft it out for the next 3 months. So that I have a rough idea of when the next thing's happening. And the first thing I have to do is I've got to put dates like launches, any sorts of test groups, any sorts of like product launches or promos that I might know about, any dates of events that I need to be attending, things like that. So April 1st, you guys, is when our 21-day fix, the test group begins, but that's when the very first 21-day fix workout will be in the nutrition app with your Ultimate Portion Fix program, okay? That's when we'll finally have access to those. They will be done live stream each day, so similar to 80 Day Obsession, I'm going to guess that they're either going to come a week at a time or a day at a time. Not 100% sure just yet. But that's going to last all the way through the 21st. And then on the 22nd, you guys, is when I'm kind of skipping down. Sorry, not the 22nd. The 29th is when 21 Day Fix Extreme will then go live. So that could also be an opportunity for people who aren't ready to go to Extreme. That could be an opportunity for people to repeat 21 Day Fix, right? You can gauge that on your own, but just so that you have an idea of when you should be launching maybe these groups or these themes or whatnot. The 12th through the 14th is going to be your local super weekend. Ours here in San Jose is on Saturday the 13th. But if you go into your Coach Online office and you click on events, you're going to see Super Weekend will pop up in the pull down tab, and you click on Super Weekend and then you type in your zip code where you live, and anyone that's hosting a Super Weekend near you, which is a quarterly Beachbody event, you guys, that basically just gives us new information, new launches that are coming out. We get to hear guest speakers. You get to do a live workout with other Beachbody coaches. It's just fun. We do this through a screen all the time. It's just fun to like be there with people in person. And if you live near a big Super Saturday or a big Super Weekend, a big city, you might actually have a live super trainer there. I know Shaun T makes his rounds. Autumn makes her rounds. All of the big ones, they make their rounds. So double check that in your back office. If you are local here, we have it on the 13th, right near Great America Park. Okay, the 15th, you guys, mark this down if you're going for Diamond. If Diamond is on your radar for Summit, that's when the 8-week Diamond Dash is going to begin, and it will be a group of applicants that come together, okay? And so I'm opening up to more than one, is basically what I'm saying. So that'll start on the 15th, which is also tax day. Just, you know, if you want to write that down too. Okay, May, any qualifications for quarter two? So like, for example, when you go into June 6th is the cutoff date, you guys, for Summit recognition. But let's say on June 6th, we have 5 diamonds go diamond right on June 6th, right? What happens at that point is a 6-week qualification period that Leah went through, that Charlie went through when they went diamond, to then help our team and me go into star qualification. So a 1-star, 2-star, 3-star, those don't happen right away on a Thursday. Those happen after holding diamond for 6 weeks. So the last day for qualification for any star diamond ranks would be the 23rd, because that's the 6-week out mark from June. No. Oh, I'm saying this wrong too. Sorry. Last day to qualify for quarter two. No, I said that right. But I think it should be April 23rd, not, sorry, that should have gone in the other month, not May, because it should have been the 6 weeks out. Basically, it's 6 weeks out of that June 6th, because that's going to be your last day to qualify for any quarterly bonuses that you might qualify for when you get into star periods and whatnot. Okay, June 6th is the recognition cutoff. We know that. We've been saying that till we're blue in the face. And then our quarter two actually ends on June 26th. Okay, so jot those down. Just make sure you have those. And then I'm going to actually stop share to take you through time blocking. And like I said, you guys, so quarter two, you've got the dates written down. Another thing I would do on your own time is now go back through and see, okay, when am I going to start my challenge groups, right? Like I looked at May 6th. I love to start mine on a Monday. And usually the first or second Monday, depending on how the calendar lines up. If the first Monday is like the first of the month, I'm not going to start a challenge group on the first of the month. Maybe I'll wait till the next week, right? But also I encourage you to go through April, May, and June, and just kind of sketch out like maybe when you're going to host your next group. Are you running free groups? Is that something you offer? And just looking at that. Okay. Also, if there are any other launches, we'll know them after Super Saturday, and we can then pencil them in as well. So let's talk about time blocking or block scheduling. One of the things I hear so often from coaches, you guys, is we're busy. There's not a single person I think that I haven't heard from that's not busy out of their freaking mind. And I you know, we can all relate on that. The other thing is that we run out of time. Like we end up not having time for Beachbody because all these other things take our time up, right? And the thing is, if we really want to focus in on a goal for quarter two, for all of 2019, whatever that is, time blocking is so helpful because I'm going to mute everybody really quick. Yeah. Okay, sorry about that. Time blocking is just so important because it helps you to see where your hours are going. Before I shared a couple weeks back, I shared a little graphic that talked about how many hours we're left with in the day after we like sleep and we get ready and we work and all that stuff, and like what we actually are left with. And that's kind of what we're going to basically do is we're going to take how many hours we're awake every week and we're going to give them to something that matters to us. Because I know from experience, if I don't give my hours to something, they're going to be taken by something else that is not in my control. They'll be hijacked, right? And so the best you can possibly do at this, we're going to kind of do that together. So first thing is pick 5 categories. And I hope you have like pencil paper, because like you're going to be writing all over it. Okay. Pick 5 categories. And it's funny, I did this a long time ago. I did this more recently, and then I did this today. And a long time ago when I did this, you guys, I was the very, very, very first time I did this, I was on the road teaching like a summer marching band sort of thing all summer long. And we would have 12-hour days every day, 7 days a week. I know I had no days off during this period of time. So 12 hours a day, 7 days a week, no time off. Okay. You don't go home, you sleep on a bus, you shower in a locker room, like all this stuff, right? So my days were like pretty much hijacked by my job at the time. Now, they were also, another time that I did this exercise, my hours were hijacked by my work, my 9 to 5. So that is going to be one category you're going to have to write down. Whatever job you have, that's a category. So we're going to only pick 5. So if you feel like you've got a lot of categories in your life, we're going to have to pick like the 5 most important. So your job, your work, whatever that time looks like that's being consumed by work, is a category. Personal is going to be another category. That's going to be like, and what you can do is in these categories, like when you make your 5, you can write down some of the things that might go in that category. So like work, for example, if it's 8 hours a day, you know, you can write down like for teaching, like I need to lesson plan during that time. I need to grade papers during that time. I need to teach during that time, right? Like, so some of the things that would be occurring during that chunk of time that you are going to give to that job, okay? We'll break down the hours here in a second. Don't worry about that yet. So personal is the second one. That for me personally is my workouts, personal development, any sort of alone time. That's personal. My Bible study goes in there. Okay, that's my alone time. For me, another category would be relationships. So my family and my friends, time that I'm going to give to them. Now, all of us are on this call for a reason. So Beachbody should probably be a 4th category. And you can either, your 5th category, I'm not going to tell you what it needs to be, but I have at some points in my life made Beachbody into 2 categories. One was like my personal Beachbody, and one was like Beachbody in terms of like stuff like this, like where I'm getting on a training or national wake up call, where it's like, it's not me actually working my business. It's more like growth and development in Beachbody. So at one point in my life, that actually took up 2 separate categories. Another time in my life, my 5th category were like my other jobs. Like maybe if you've got like in your relationships, you want that to be more like going out and having fun relationships. And then like you've got momming to do on the other side of it. Like maybe that's a different category, right? Like, so you break down how you want your 5 to look. For me, my 5th category right now is fun. So like my fun doesn't go in my personal. So like if I'm going to go hang out with a girlfriend, or if I'm going to go to a coffee shop or get my nails done, like that goes in my fun category, not my personal. In your Beachbody category, if you're just doing one, challenge group posts, like pre-prepping content of any sort, inviting your Success Club system tracker is going to be part of that time frame. Any social media that you need to do. If you're making it one chunk category, that includes team trainings, maybe watching recordings, maybe you're in a training, like you need to redo Coach Basics, or maybe you're going to be in a diamond training, like stuff like that, right? Any time that you're going to spend pouring into your downline. So maybe, are you mentoring anybody right now? Talking to them on the phone, right? That could be also part of your, like, more like your Beachbody organization versus your business, okay? Okay, so we have our 5 categories. Now we have to do what's really fun, is we have to figure out how many hours, kind of, best guess that you're awake every week. Okay, and the way that we do this is you figure out how many hours you sleep. Yeah. So I sleep, the first time I did this, I was sleeping 7 hours a night. So I had 119 awake hours, because I did 17 times 7 days a week, right? Now, 8 hours is like my thing. Like I love 8 hours of sleep. So I have 100, wait, how did it go down? Oh wait, it's because I did it right here. Sorry, I'm like, I'm like a beautiful mind over here right now with like numbers everywhere and math. I have 100. Oh no, that should be right. Less hours because I sleep more. Yes, 112 awake hours. So do your math really quick. Figure out how many awake hours you have. So from your awake hours, so I have my 112. I am going to do my best guess at where this time goes. Now, if your job gives you a specific, I have to be here at this time and I leave at this time, that's helpful because you can multiply that by however many days you work and you know how many hours have to go to that. For me, because I'm at home, I kind of did my best guess. But like, for example, when I did this the first time, I worked 12 hours a day, 7 days a week at the time. That was 84 hours a week. 84 hours a week, you guys, was dedicated to just that job of my 119. But I want to point out that I still was able to give 10 hours to Beachbody personal business and 7 hours to like organizational growth with like trainings for me, getting on calls, things like that. So like, even though 84 hours, a ridiculous amount of hours was dedicated to work, like my 9 to 5, which wasn't a 9 to 5, I still was able to give 17 hours a week to Beachbody. That's a lot, right? If it's focused. So that's why this is so important to see, like, how many hours do you really have to give? Be honest with yourself, yeah? Okay, so the way that I broke this down back in that time was I had 84 hours for work. I had 10 hours for personal each week, 8 hours for family and friends, 10 hours for Beachbody personal, and I had 7 hours for my Beachbody organizational business. Now it looks a little different, and I have it kind of broken down here with how many hours I can give. So just take a second. Take your hours that you have awake and start to divvy it up where you want to prioritize it and where you can prioritize it. So take a second to do that. Now, if you've started reading Girls Stop Apologizing, excuse number 3 is I don't have time. And it fits perfectly with what we're talking about today. Because it's not the question of do you have enough time? It's really how are you using the time you have? And so an exercise like this really starts to allow you to put things on a priority list, right? And if something comes up in your week that can hijack your Beachbody business time that you're going to allot, because Beachbody, remember, is one of your 5. When you have something come up and it's like, you know, easy for you to say, oh, I'll just skip working my business today. It's not, maybe that's a different area of your life. Like try taking it away from some other one of those 5s, like maybe take it away from your personal time. Are you willing to give up your workout that day for that? Or are you willing to give up, you fill in the blank. Yeah. A couple snippets from it while you guys are filling that in is, she said the only thing standing between me and my new goal was a willingness to find time for it. And she encourages you to do exactly pretty much what we're doing right here, which is cool. But one of her things is 5 to strive hours as sacred. She's saying 1 hour a day, 5 days a week. 5 to strive, and make it sacred. And I loved the story she put here. If you haven't read it, it's powerful. If you've read it, you're going to love it again. She said, when something is sacred, you protect it. Imagine if I came to you and said, hey, do you want to meet Chris Hemsworth for coffee at 3 p.m.? You would, of course, say yes because he's dreamy and he has an accent, and you're more than a little curious why Chris even knows who you are. You would put it on your calendar as a non-negotiable because there's so many awesome and exciting things you'll experience with that appointment in your calendar. Then, if all of a sudden someone said, hey, can you pick up the kids at 3:10? I know I said I was going to do it, but I can't now. You wouldn't just agree. You wouldn't just blithely blow off your date because it's Chris freaking Hemsworth. And that scheduled appointment, that promise to yourself, is something you wouldn't give up lightly. Whatever vision you have for your future, it has to be at least as valuable to you as that coffee date with Thor, or whoever your version of Thor is. You have to recognize that your commitment to it will yield just as many awesome and exciting things as a date with a hunky Australian superhero. These 5 hours are what's in between you and something great, and if you can't commit the time in your schedule to becoming the person that you want to be, what are we even doing here? Why are we even trying? Is your schedule populated by things that will make your life better, or is it dictated by everyone else's wants and needs? I read that and I was like, this is so spot on with what we're talking about. So I just needed to share that with you guys, because this time blocking activity, it's something you'll probably have to do, wash, rinse, repeat, right? Like do it again, as seasons change in your life, as things, priorities shift and whatnot. But trying to at least keep your Beachbody business 5 hours sacred, right, and focused is so crucial. Are we good so far? Does anybody have questions with where you're at on your blocking?
I do have a question. Did you make workouts a category, or do you include that in coaching, and then also like your social media posts related to your workouts?
Yeah, my personal time is where my workouts would go, but my social media posts would be my Beachbody business time. Yeah. Cool. And I guess I think of it like, if I quit Beachbody today, I'd still work out every day. You know what I mean? Like that's my personal time. You know what I mean? Yeah. Any other questions? That was good. And you'll probably think of things that can go into those categories, right? Like, it's crazy because right here on paper, I put down, I have 19 hours, you guys, in my week for fun. Like what? I don't have 19 hours of fun on a weekly basis. Like what I'm saying is like, I do have time for a lot of fun. I am physically not having 19 hours worth of fun right now. And that was like a big, like, what the heck's wrong with you, Britt? Like go have fun, like go do something, which just gave me another gut check that like, maybe I'm spending too much time sitting here doing busy work that isn't actually moving my business forward and focused, right? It was a big gut check for me. So I think that this also helps us see like, ooh, maybe I'm not so focused when I actually do go into these pockets of time, right? Under family time, just food for thought, you guys, like I put for family time, that is my, like when I make dinner, that's under family time because that's for my family. So stuff like that, right? Like you can, if I'm going to walk Frankie, that's family time, things like that, dog park. Okay, so I'm pencil and paper kind of person, but if you are a Google Calendar kind of person, you can totally do this in a really cool way there, and you can block it out with color blocks. So you could pick a color to assign to things. So for example, anything that's personal, you could do pink. Anything that's Beachbody, do blue, right? And figure out, I'd start with what you can't move. Like for me before, I couldn't move when I taught my students. I couldn't move it. I also couldn't move when I had rehearsal with my color guards, with my teams I used to coach, right? So I couldn't move those things. So the first thing I'd put on my weekly block when I block out the schedule is I'd put my work that I couldn't move. From there, I would see the pockets. So maybe from 8 a.m. to, and you can include drive time in all this, right? Obviously you need to. And if your drive time can bleed into like personal development, then maybe that there's a little blurred line there, right? Or maybe in your drive time, you can listen to a team training or whatever. There's like blurred lines, right? But in general, if I have to teach, let's say I have to be there at 8 a.m. to 3:30 p.m., like that's blocked. And then I don't have to be to rehearsal until 5 p.m. So I have 3:30 to 5 p.m. where normally I'd probably just twiddle my thumbs, scroll social media, waste time. But now that I can see I have an hour and a half pocket of time, maybe I take 3:30 to 4 o'clock and that's my workout. And 4 o'clock to 4:30, that's when I'm going to craft social media content for tonight and for tomorrow. And then from 4:30 to 5 o'clock, I have to drive, right? And so maybe I'll listen to personal development while I drive. But then you can start to see where your cracks are in your day. Yeah? And you can plan and reverse from there. So what I encourage you to do now that you kind of have this out in front of you, like, wow, these are the hours I can give. Like, oh my gosh, I can give time to my husband. I can give time to my kids. Like, I can physically see it. This is awesome. I can give time to cleaning my house now. Like, I didn't even think I had time for that, but I'm looking and I do have time, right? Like this, all of a sudden, like miracles can happen. Now that you have this though, what I encourage you to do is take it to your calendar. And so each week I like to sit down and I'll just go into like a blank week where I haven't started yet. So like Monday is blank. Okay. And I have the kind of planner that has the times on the side. If you don't, just write the times on the side where you do this. Yeah. But let's say my AM routine, that's personal, right? My morning routine is a personal time. And then let's say I want to do that till 7 a.m. every morning. So my alarm goes off till 7 a.m. is personal time. I would write that in there and block scheduling. Yeah. I'd block it out. And then whatever color highlighter I'm going to attest to my, give to my personal time, that's what I'm going to put around this. And then let's say, I have a call at 10 a.m. So then I can put that and I put like a blue around it for Beachbody Blue. And so you would go in and you'd physically block your day out, and it doesn't have to be anything extravagant. In the block could just say, personal, Beachbody, 9 to 5, right? Family time. Like it doesn't have to be exactly what you're doing in there, but blocked so you know that this is what I'm going to give my time to during this allotment. Yeah. Basically what I'm saying is that when the time is up for one thing, respect yourself, respect your schedule, respect who you're giving your time to. Like if it's family time and Beachbody time is up, it's up and move on, right? So that you can ensure that nothing is competing with anything else. You're not trying to give to Beachbody while you're trying to give to your spouse. You're not trying to give to, your work and your job when it's really supposed to be your personal time. So you can honor what it is that you're trying to work on at that moment and be more focused and intentional. That's it. That's all I've got for that. Questions, comments, concerns? How was that?
I'm so happy to find time to do this with you guys because I'm also reading the same book, Brittany, and I'm like, I need to find time to work on my calendar, but I haven't found time to sit down and work on my calendar. So that's what I'm doing right now. And I just pulled up the Google Calendar, and it feels like such a relief to make time and dedicate it to specific things.
Yeah. And the Google Calendar, you guys, you can do it as recurring things. So things like your work, or if there's something you always like every Monday night, you're on a Zoom. So you can always every Monday night, this is always going to happen. And then you can, if sharing this with your spouse or your family members or friends is important to you, if that's something you find value in, this is a way then you could also share with them, sit down on Sundays and talk about this is what my week looks like. These are this hour is really important to me. And this is why, and that way they know it too. I don't use my Google Calendar anymore. This is not updated, but you can see how it's blocked out, you guys. So purple was more like challenge groups and team. Blue was projects for myself. Purple was all Beachbody. Blue was Beachbody, but projects that I wanted to work on, an email I was going to send out or whatever. Anything yellow was a call I had to be on. And then pink was all personal time. And then you can see my sleep is down there too. So I'd be able to see there's all my yellow calls and things like that. So using Google Calendar for that is really cool too. And it'll color block it for you. Seeing how much time I actually have. Yes. So true. Big gut check. I mean, I'm literally looking here at wow, Brittany, you have no excuse to go do stuff that fills you up, right? And makes you happy.
Well, after kind of doing a quick view of my hours, you're right. Beachbody, I should be able to do a power hour every day and no excuse. I usually just kind of stick to one part, and when I started coming on in February, diving into like commenting more on people's stuff and giving them love. So 1 hour, that's all I need. 7 days a week.
Yeah.
6 days. 6 days.
And that's so acceptable. That's so beyond acceptable. But we end up taking that hour and we scroll, or we like rev ourselves up for something, or we, like that hour doesn't become an hour. It becomes like we get sucked into other things. So focused, intentional time too, I think. Awesome.
A technical question. If you created this on Google Calendar, then how did you view it on your phone? Not through your iPhone calendar, or is it something
No, you have
different?
to download, these are my...
Never mind.
You have to download Google Calendar.
Okay.
Yeah, it won't show up on your iPhone calendar because Apple and Google aren't friends.
Right.
Yeah, I actually did all that, you guys, on my computer. Went to Google Calendar, and did it all on my computer. Super user-friendly. Google's super user-friendly that way. And then I just downloaded the app and logged in on my phone with my Gmail account, and it shows it already. It automatically has it there for you. Yeah. I'm just so like not tech savvy that like I have that and then I never look at it, which is why it's like super outdated. So awesome. Any other questions before we wrap up, guys?
No, it was a good refresher. I needed a reminder. Thank you.
Yeah. And these are great times, you guys. We're coming up on the end of the quarter. I'm serious. Look at your first quarter. Pat yourself on the back. Be proud of what you did. Look at maybe where you didn't quite get to where you wanted to go yet, and like look at how you can make adjustments, but also grab a hold of your calendar and your planner and start to like really give yourself the gift of that time, that focus time. Yeah. All right, let's get a quick pick and then we will skedaddle.
What planner did you have? You showed us your planner. What planner is it?
This one is called The Simplified Planner by Emily Lay.
Okay.
And I got the one that's vertical with the times. I like this because it has the times and it has a to-do list on the side, and I'm a junkie for that. So. But I've used like so many different ones, but that one's pretty good. All right, let me get the thing set. All right. 3, 2, 1. Yay! All right, thanks ladies for being on tonight. Tell your friends to watch this because I know other people wanted to hear about it, okay? All right, I'll talk to you later.
Thank you.
All right, bye.